Hello, everyone. We are going to be looking at pages 12 and 13 today. You have a test coming up at the end of this week. This will be your first district assessment, and we want to make sure that you are prepared. We're going to start off by doing pages 12 and 13, which is test review number 1. If you could go to page 12 in your packet now. If you don't have your packet, you can always find it on our Canvas homepage. There's a line that has a link, so you can do it on a separate piece of paper until you get your supplies picked up. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. Okay. Get this focused for you guys. So this is page 12. I am going to do the first column with you. So numbers 1, 4, 7, 10, 13. You are welcome to pause the video after I do problem 1, then you can do problems 2 and 3. After I do 4, you can do problems 5 and 6, and so on. You are expected to do both pages, the whole thing, pages 12 and 13 completely. So let's get started. Use the properties of exponents to write an equivalent expression. Show your work, simplify, all exponents should be positive. All exponents should be positive. This is exactly what the test is going to look like, and we want you to have a lot of exposure so that you guys are prepared and do well on it. Number 1, you can see the x, there's no number. Remember, if there's no exponent, then it's just 1. So there's 1, 2, 3 x's. X to the third. Then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 y's. It kind of looks like it's written in expanded form with y to the 5th power. So our answer is x to the 3rd, y to the 5th. Problem 2, we were using exponent rules with multiplying like bases, so we'll need to add our exponents. Problem number 3, don't forget the new rule with the integers out in front of it. If you want to pause it now to do those 2 problems, then go for it. Problem number 4, we're going into division, which is really nice because for this row, all we're thinking about is division. So when we divide like bases, we subtract. Now remember, it says to show all of your work. Okay, so I have 4 to the 11th divided by 4 to the 3rd. So when I divide, I subtract like bases, showing all of my work. So I have 11 minus 3. Okay, when I solve that or simplify that, I have 4 to the 8th power as my answer. If it was like 3 minus 11 instead of 11 minus 3, I could use the pancake method to figure out what 3 minus 11 was. Okay. Don't forget all of your rules when you're completing problems 5 and 6. Pause the video now if you would like to work on problems 5 and 6. Okay. On to the next row, we have power to a power. Okay, so we have x to the 3rd, all raised to the power of 11. Power to a power, I multiply my exponents, showing all of my work. I have 3 times 11. Okay. And I get my final answer of x to the 33rd. Okay. Problem 8 and 9 have some special cases, but we've done both of those, so you guys know how to do them. On problem number 10, we have 4 to the 4th, all to the 0 power. Okay. We know that anything to the raised to the 0 power is the number 1. So if you didn't notice that right away, you could use power to a power and you'd still get the same answer. But this whole thing to the 0 power is just 1. So there's really no work to show. Problem number 13, we're looking at negative exponents. X to the negative 8th is a negative exponent, so we need to take the reciprocal because the directions say, show your work, simplify, all exponents should be positive. All exponents should be positive. Since we have that negative 8, we know we are not done. We have to take the reciprocal and move it to the bottom. So that's x to the 8th. And since there's no number on top when we move it to the bottom of the fraction, we put 1 as our placeholder. Okay. And that's showing all of my work. I moved it to the bottom, and that 8th power became positive. That exponent became positive. You should be able to do the other 2 problems in this row. Okay. That's all for page 12. So then move on over to page 13. Remember, you can always pause the video. On page 12 was all of our level 1 and 2 problems. Now we're moving to a little bit more complex problems. These are all 2-step. On page 13, so these are your level 3 problems right here. Looking at number 16, we did problems like this on Friday. We have 3 to the 5th times 3 to the negative 9th. We have multiplying like basis, so we know in our first step we can add them. So showing all of my work, 5 plus negative 9. Okay. We have 3 to the 5th plus negative 9. Now you can use your pancake method. So I can go ahead and I can do 5 plus negative 9. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, sorry. 5 positives, excuse me. And 9 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Using the pancake method, I can circle my 0 pairs and make sure you have your signs right. I almost did a negative 5. Okay. And what I see is left is a negative 4. So I have 3 to the negative 4. Okay. I should have circled my exponents to know that this is a positive 5 and a negative 9. That would have made it a little more clear. Right? So what we have now is 3 to the negative 4th. We can't leave a negative exponent in our answer, so we know that we're going to have to take the reciprocal, so we have to flip it to the bottom. When we flip it to the bottom, nothing is left on top, so we put 1 as our placeholder. And our final answer is 1 over 3 raised to the power of 4. Okay. The last one I'm going to kind of get you started on. These 3 are the level 3 problems, and now we're looking at the level 4. Problem number 20 says, Brooke writes negative 4x to the 2nd power times 2y to the negative 3rd power times 5y to the 7th times x to the negative 9th equals y to the 4th over 20x raised to the 7th power. But the teacher marked it wrong. Explain Brooke's error and explain how to find the correct answer. Okay, they're telling us that Brooke did the work wrong, so we need to find out where she went wrong. So you need to solve the problem. My advice to you is to solve the problem first and then look at where you think Brooke went wrong. Okay, so start off by writing the problem. And the problem is just the left side. Negative 4x squared times 2y to the negative 3rd times 5y to the 7th times x to the negative 9. Okay, I wrote out the left side of the problem. Okay. You are going to figure out what you think the left side equals. So first of all, we have multiplication. We see that there's multiplication, so we need to multiply. We're going to start by multiplying all of our integers out front. Okay. So if we multiply our integers out front, we have negative 2 times 2, which is 8. Sorry, negative 8. Negative 8 times 5 would be a negative 40. Okay, so when we multiply our integers, we get negative 40. Then we can put together the x's. So we're multiplying like basis, so our rule is to add the exponents. Okay, so we have x to the 2nd, and then we have an x to the negative 9th. So we can do x to the 2nd plus negative 9. Okay. And then we can take our y's. And so then we have y to the negative 3rd times y to the 7th. So again, once again, we're going to add our exponents. So we have y to the negative 3rd plus 7. Okay. You can keep going from there. That's as much as I'm going to show you. We'll go over these level 4 problems tomorrow. But then you can see what Brooke did wrong and explain your answer. Okay. So how you're going to turn this in, what we're going to have you do, and it says it in the directions too, is we're going to have you take 2 pictures of 2 pages. You're going to hold up your packet in front of the Chromebook to take a picture. and then submit it to Canvas. If you already know how to do this or you like to look things up to try to figure out how to do things, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and submit it today. Great. If you don't know how, instead of me trying to explain to you over this video, I'll show you at the start of live class tomorrow. So get the work done, and at the beginning of class, the first thing we'll do during synchronous time is upload your homework assignments. That's how you're going to submit test review number 2 as well. We'll be doing test number 2 tomorrow for the review, and a test review number 3 will be posted as well. A-Day kids, periods 1 and 5, your test will be live while you're on Zoom with me on Thursday, while B-Day kids, which is periods 3, 4, and 7, as well as period 8, your test will be on Friday while you're live on Zoom with me. So all of my classes will be taking the test live on Zoom during synchronous time. Okay? If you don't have all your homework done, please make sure you get it completed. This review shouldn't take you too long to do, so it gives you time to look back in Infinite Campus to see if you have any missing assignments, as well as the assignments in your packet that were not submitted yet. See you later. Bye.